side split stretching. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. And oh man, I woke up like 15 minutes ago. So, oh, I am ready for some stretching. Oh, okay. Oh, what's our spiel? How do we start this usually? It's Saturday morning. It's 9 a.m. And if you're interested in starting your day with a little bit of stretching and side split stuff and hip mobility, this is the place to be because that's what we're doing right now. It's time to warm up. The first thing we're going to do is called hip cars. Hip cars look a little bit like this. We're going to lift our knee as high as possible. We're going to open up our leg to the side, open up our hips as far as possible. We're going to rotate our hips, bring that ankle up, 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 and then we're going to bring the leg down and back. And the whole time, our goal is to bring our leg as high, as wide, as rotated, as back as possible using our own muscle power. All right. That way, we get stronger, we get better control, and hopefully everything feels a little bit smoother. Okay. Let's begin. Hip cars. Stand up nice and straight. Take a big breath in. I'm just buying myself a little bit of time because I'm tired. Okay, let's get started. Hip cars, high knee. Open. Ankle up. Ankle up some more. Oh, bring the leg down and back. That is one rep. We're doing 10 of these in total. I'm going to do a whole bunch facing you, and then I'm going to do a whole bunch using the wall for support because I'm lazy too. All right, let's do this. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's the first one will count, maybe. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. I'm going to do some from the side so you can see what the ankle is doing for the rotation. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Ankle up some more. Down and back. I think that's five. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's seven high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's eight high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's nine. Last one high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That is our hip curls. We have done one hip. We got one more hip to do going forward, and then we're going to go and reverse the whole thing and do a round on each side going backwards. So that means we got lots of hip curls to do. Let's continue. Stand up nice and straight. Power onto that one leg and high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's one high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's five high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six. Oh, I'm going to hold on to the wall for balance. Makes it easier. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's seven high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's eight high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's nine high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 10. That is 10 hip curls going forward. Shake out your hips. Do a little dance. And when they relax a little bit after all that contracting and lifting and shenanigans, we're going to go in reverse. In reverse, we're basically doing the same movements. We're bringing the leg back, lifting to the side, rotating the ankle up, rotating the ankle down, and bring the knee to the front. All right? All the same basic movements, so you don't have to learn anything new. But there's one thing I want to emphasize. That is, when the first thing that we do is that leg kick in the back, I don't want you to get too excited. I don't want you to get so amped up that you put a whole bunch of pressure on your low back. All right? When you lift that leg back, I don't want you to go into some side martial artsy kicky things. because this is us bringing the leg back. All right, not bring the leg to the side, not bring the leg anywhere else, just straight back. And if you're focused on the actual hip where you're supposed to be feeling this, you shouldn't be able to bring the leg that far back. All right, and if you are bringing it really far back, it probably means you're making that stretch come from your low back. Bending comes from right here. That is not what we want. We want the bending to come from here at the hip. All right. There's a couple reasons for that. One, this is hip mobility. So we want the mobility to come from the hips. Two, the low back is not designed to bend very much. And if you do a whole bunch of these and your low back is bending a ton, it's going to make your low back achy, and we don't want that, right? So to keep your low back from bending, to keep you from torquing when you're doing this movement, I want you to just keep your core really, 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 really tight. Maybe even imagine that you're hunching over just a little bit because you're contracting your core so much, bracing for punches. You're going, oh, I'm stuck here. All right. If you want, you can also hold your low back so that you know when you're doing this thing and your hips are shifted because your low back is doing a little torque. All right. A lot of words. Kind of went around in a circle, but I hope you understand. Protect your low back, keep your abs tight, and we're ready to begin. Stand up nice and straight, core tight, hold on to something for balance, and let's begin. Bring that leg down and back. Lift that leg to the side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's one, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's two, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, three, that's back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's four. I'm gonna do a couple facing you guys so it's easier to mirror. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's five. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's six. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, seven. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, eight. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, nine. Last one, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 10. Oh man, we're 75% of our hip cars. We just did the first leg in reverse. We got one more leg to do in reverse, and then we'll be done warming up, at least in this one exercise. We're doing 3 warm-up exercises. We're doing 5 stretches. So we're a little bit early in the beginning stages. Let's continue. Stand up nice and straight. Keep that core nice and tight. Protect the low back. And let's begin. Bring the leg down and back. Lift to the side. Rotate the ankle up. Rotate the ankle down. Lift the knee and bring it forward. That is 1. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 2. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 3. I'm gonna get lazy and use the wall now. All right. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 4. Back, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 5. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 6. 4 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 8. 2 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 10. Whew. Whew. That is our hip cars. That is our first warm up exercise. If you've jumped in sometime in the last couple of minutes, 10 minutes, we are doing 45 to 60 minutes of live hip mobility and side splits stretching. Oh, and we do this every day to practice the number one quality, consistency. You can have the best plan in the world, but if you can't follow it, it's not the best plan for you. So, we, in order to chase consistency, we're doing a couple of things. We're trying to build a little bit of community, other people who are working on the side splits, working on this hip mobility. We are Try to make it a little bit more fun when we suffer on the floor because we're doing it together. All right. So if you like side splits, you like hip mobility, you want to move a little bit better on the ground like this, then make sure to keep coming back. We're live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's currently not 9 p.m. Eastern. It's currently 9 a.m. Eastern. That's because on the weekends, in the mornings, we start our days instead of ending our days with a little bit of side splits. That's not even true. I lied in that previous statement. On the weekends, we do two lives. It's a 9 a.m. and it's a 9 p.m. So we do double duty. All right. So you start and end your day with lives, but you don't have to come to both. Don't feel pressured in that way. I just like to make it an option for people who like to start the day on the weekends. All right. That was enough rambling. I don't know if I'm emotionally ready for the next step. All right, let's go. Come back up into standing, and then immediately fold forward. Bring your belly button down into the ground. Oh, oh, if you have a tight low back, if you just woke up like me, maybe your back is in need of a little bit of a stretch, and it's like, ooh, good. Fold, relax, just chill for a second here. And when your low back starts not feeling like it's tight or tense, and you're starting to feel it in your hamstrings, we're ready to begin. The second exercise is called the elephant walk. What we're going to do looks like this. We're going to bend one knee, we're going to straighten the other leg, and we're going to keep on folding that belly button down. You're going to feel it deep in your hamstrings. Okay? We're going to keep going by switching. This is the walking part of the elephant walk. We're going to keep switching. Keep on trying to bring the belly button down. If it feels really intense, you can dial it back. You can come back up, work on it a little bit less painfully, and keep going. Make sure to breathe. Don't hold your breath. And other than the hamstrings, you might be feeling a little bit of pulling here in the bottom of your butt. That is often because your hamstrings are actually attached to the bottom of your pelvis, to the bottom of your hips. So they become tendons, and then they go whoosh, and insert right around here. So if you're feeling it there, that's probably still your hamstrings, just at the point they attach to your butt instead of in the belly of the muscle. The other thing you'll be feeling, my hamstrings are really tight this morning. The other thing you'll be feeling, possibly, is a little tingliness in the toes. And that is often because your nervous system, the nerves in your body, are also getting a little bit stretched when you get into this crazy position. When the nerves get stretched, the toes get tingly. Well, at least when the nerves near your toes are getting stretched, the toes get tingly. Whew, okay, we've done this for a little bit. If you're feeling flexible, and you feel like you can bring your belly button down to the floor, fold a little deeper, and keep going, go for it. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Pop into a little bit of squat. Pause for a second. Come back into standing. Oh, shake out your legs. Do a little wiggle. Flop around. Shake out those hips. And that is our first warm up exercise. We're going to do two more warm up exercises. Number two is no, wait. That is not our first. That is our second warm up exercise, but we have another one that we combine into that position. And man, I gotta start waking up earlier. I'm not ready mentally for this life. Okay. We are moving on into our second warm up exercise in this bent leg, straight leg position. Okay. This is technically the third different move, but I don't know why I haven't changed the name. Anyways, what we're going to do from here is we're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other leg just like before. All right. We're going to widen the stance a little bit. This is up to you, actually. You can decide how wide you want to do it. I demonstrate it really wide so it's easier to understand what's happening. Okay. One leg is bent. One leg is straight. We're taking the arm from the bent leg side. We're reaching across the body to the straight leg side. And we are opening up our chest. We're rotating. You might notice keeping your legs closer together makes it easier. You might want to try that. And I'm going to scoop myself back to the center of the camera. And we're going to rotate. Rotate, 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 rotate. Rotate, 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 rotate. The other arm is pointing straight up into the sky. Your head is rotating to look at that hand. And you're breathing. On the exhale, I want you to see if you can reach just a little bit further. That is half a rep. What we're doing is called thoracic rotation, and it is just making you twist a little bit. All right. Other leg is now bent. The leg that was bent is now straight. Arm from the bent leg side is reaching across the body, pushing off that ankle, off that shin bone, and we're opening up the chest. I want you to reach your hands up into the sky. I want you to look at that hand with your neck so your neck is rotating. And I want you to breathe. On the exhale, I want you to reach a little further back, okay? One more. That is one rep on the left and one rep on the right. We're going to do four more, so five in total. Let's do it. One leg is bent, one leg is straight, arm from the bent leg side reaching across to the straight leg, pushing against that shin, opening up the chest, opening up that back rotation. Breathe. And other side. Bent, straight, bent, straight. Open. Breathe. That is two reps. We got three more to go. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open. Breathe. And down. Other side. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open. Breathe. That is three. We got two more. If at any point you're like, wow, this is way too much rotation, this is too much breathing, you need to slow it down. Take your time, slow it down. I talk a lot. I talk a lot, because I hope people scrolling, finding the live for the first time can be like, oh, hey, he's giving instructions, and I hope you jump right in. And that means I talk a lot, okay? One leg is bent, one leg is straight, reach across, open up that chest, reach, 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 breathe, don't hold your breath, and that's the beginning of number four. Other side. We got one last one. Let's go. 5 and 5. Oh, that is our thoracic rotation. And I didn't really explain what that is earlier, but if you were standing, this is what thoracic rotation is. The thoracic spine is just below your neck and above your low back. So it's like this half of your body. And it's designed to move really well. You can bend to the left, you can bend to the right, you can twist, you can slouch, you can open up that chest and do like back bridges. It's designed to move really well. So just giving a little bit of spine movement while we're in this bent leg shape and warming up your back. All right. Third warm-up exercise coming right up. We're gonna hop into some Cossack switches. I don't know why I said hop into Cossack switches because it'd be like wee, and you don't really have to do that, and that's not at all what I was recommending. But we're gonna demonstrate one, or I'm gonna demonstrate one real quick. Describe it. You don't have to jump in if you don't want. If you're a total pro and you know exactly what you're doing, you want to do 35 bajillion reps, go for it. We are opening our legs wide. We're basically doing a deep squat on one leg and a side split on the other leg. We're screwing our butts to the other side, trying to squish, get low, and then we're going to come back. Boom. All right. That is what they look like. For most of us, your ankles, your knees, your hips are not going to be ready for that much low on the ground stuff. So we're going to prep them by doing some slow stretches. I want you to come into standing, feet underneath you, and I want you to pop into a little bit of a squat. Oh, ooh. And then turn that little bit of a squat into a much, much bigger squat. Keep on going. Come on down. Try to bring your chest to your knees. Hug your knees in. And if you lean a little bit forward, you should feel a nice stretch in your Achilles tendon, in your calves, and that's what we want. You do not have to put your heels all the way down and sit in a deep squat position. That is unnecessary, and that is because when you get into that position, you start wanting to fall backwards, and the Achilles tendon starts tightening, or you start losing some of the stretch in the Achilles tendon. We want that ankle flexing real hard right now because we're trying to prepare our bodies for a whole bunch of crazy movement. All right, so chill here for a little bit. Chill here for a little bit longer. Chill some more, and if you can, if you're comfortable, do a little dance, a little shake to the side, do a little dance. Put that thoracic rotation that we just did to work. Move your back, do a little dance, and keep on bringing your legs in and out just a little bit. If you have weaker ankles, knees, hips, and this doesn't feel that great for you, you don't have to move aggressively. Just do a little wiggle, a little shake, and that is enough. We're ready to move on. It's time to start our cossack switches. All right. What I want you to do from this position is stick your hands deep, straight into the ground. Nothing fancy. You're not going anywhere else. Just straight into the ground. From here, we got a little bit extra stability. We're going to extend one leg off to the side. For now, keep your heel down. When you're standing, you can put your whole foot down. But for now, just rest your heel down so you don't have to figure out how to rotate your leg all over the place. From here, the other leg, I want you to drop that heel to the ground as well. When the whole entire foot is down, it's going to help with your stability. There's a lot of movement in this movement, right? There's a lot of movement in this movement. So we want you to be stable. There's a lot of weight shifting back and forth, side to side, and having that heel down helps you stay stable. All right, so drop that heel, and then see how low you can get, how deep you can squat into that position. If you can get super low, great. If you can't, and you're all the way up here, that's totally fine. It's part of the process. We're gonna build down our mobility, and that's what the show is for. All right, so let's continue. Once you've gotten as low as you can with that heel down, we're going to scoot our butts over to the other side. Scoot, 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 scoot. Whew. When you're higher up, it might be a little bit more easy because these are muscles that you're probably using a little bit more. But if you are lower down, you might want to put your hands down to give yourself a little bit of support with your balance, with your strength, and come on over. All right, that's it. That's the Cossack switch. You got two versions. You got plenty of information to get started. We're doing 10 reps. Let's begin. Heel down, get as low as you can. Walk your hands over to the other side. Sit on the other side. Squish, get compact, and then come back. Squish, and then come back. That's one. We're starting number two. Squish, squish. That's two. Three. Three on the right side. Four on the left. Four on the right. If you are feeling strong, you're like, this is unnecessary. I don't need my hands for this. What do you think? I'm weak. It's okay. You don't have to use your hands. You can keep going without them. Keep going. That's five. Keep going some more. That's six. If you're feeling really strong, you can try to sit up a little bit straighter so that your face isn't looking at the ground, your face is looking straight forward in front of you, and continue. When you do this, you might want to extend your arms out in front of you to help counterbalance. That's seven, I think, and eight, and keep going, nine, last one, take a break if you need to, and 10. Oh, 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 that is our hip cars. Sorry, that's not what I'm talking about. That is our cossack switches. We just did 10 reps from side to side. If you're a little bit behind and you need a second to catch up, that's absolutely fine. Take your time. I got lots of talking to do. We just wrapped up our 3 warm-up exercises, and that means it's time for the workout. If that sentence scared you because you were like, the Cossack switches are so hard, there's a whole entire workout after this, you probably don't know that we're doing a 45 to 60-minute long live side splits and hip mobility show. We did a lot of the hip mobility just now. It's time for some stretches. So it's not going to be nearly as intense as the Cossack switches are for your limbs and your muscles. All right, everything's a little bit more chill. We do this live every single day at 9 p.m. And we do it to build consistency, build community, make the stretching we're about to do a little bit more fun, a little less suffering. So if you like side splits, you like hip mobility, you like the idea of moving well on the floor, keep coming back, hit follow, hit subscribe. All right. We're going to move on into our 5 stretches. The first stretch is a hamstring stretch. And I recommend you go grab a cushion to pad your knee because we're going to drop into that hamstring stretch like so, with one knee on the ground, one leg extended, folding forward. This way, you have a little bit more control. You can use your hand for balance. And the problem with this version of the stretch is you put a lot of pressure on your knee. So go grab a couch cushion, go grab a decorative pillow, your dog bed. It's in the morning now. They don't need to be sleeping. And it's so mean. Yoinks! I need this. Um, what else? Dirty laundry. If you got something that you can just roll up and stick under your knee, that works great. I have some yoga blocks. I've used this in the past in a pinch. I have also used shoes. Shoes you don't care about, stick them under your knee and we're ready to go. But I have something designed for this, so I'm going to use that instead. Boom. Mat on the floor. What I want you to do is drop to one knee and then drop to two knees. I want you to look straight down. When your knees are together, when your knees are together, your hips should be nice and neutral, nice and square. That is the angle of the hips we want to maintain for the entirety of our stretch. Okay? When you're ready, we're ready to begin. We're going to extend one leg out in the front. And what I don't want you to do is extend and then extend and extend and extend and then turn it into a side split. Because this is a hamstring stretch. You'll still feel the hamstring stretch when you do this, but for a lot of us, start feeling a whole bunch of other stretches in the hip. You're going to be rotating and twisting, and it's going to just get messy. So don't work so hard and get into a deep compromised position. Pull that leg into the hip and get ready to fold. All right, that is how we're setting up the stretch. I'm actually going to rotate this way because I have all of my experience doing the live stretch in that direction. And I tried to do it the other way, and I was like, wait, what? I don't know how to talk about this from this angle, even though it's the same exact move. All right, from here, with your head pulled in, your leg extended in front of you, we're going to fold the belly button down. You're going to feel a whole bunch of stretch, maybe right here at the bottom of your glutes, in the hamstrings. If you have really tight legs in general, you might feel it build into your calves. And what I want you to do is just breathe. You can grunt, groan as loud as you want. If you have neighbors close by, maybe not as loud as you want. But I exaggerate the sighing out of the air so you know what I want you to do. I want you to go, relax. Okay? Take a couple more breaths. Try to drape your body into that leg. And after a couple more rounds of that, we're going to start doing an inhale, exhale, fold. All right? It's a very descriptive name because we're doing exactly as it says. We're going to inhale. We're going to take a big breath of air in without inflating like a balloon and popping up. We're going to keep on trying to stay where we are, and we're going to take a big breath of air in. Then we're going to exhale. Nice and slow. During the exhale, we're going to try our best to fold our belly button down to our thighs. Okay? So, I hope you're ready because that's all the explanation you needed. It was inhale, exhale, fold. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. We're trying to bring the belly button down. Fold, 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 fold. When you have gotten a little bit deeper into your stretch, your hamstrings are going to be unhappy with you. Maybe your calves, your glutes, everything else in that lower body is going to be like, what's going on? I don't like this. That's okay. What I want you to do is breathe. Sigh out that air. Drape your body over that leg. If you're feeling a little bit of knee discomfort right now, you can give it a slight bend. A tiny little bend will take a lot of pressure off of your knee. And if you are doing this, I want you to focus on bringing your chest down to that leg first. Once you're there, eventually, you don't have to get there right now. Once you're there, you can start straightening out your legs again. All right. If your pain is in the knee, we want to put the pain all the way at the end. And you can focus on other parts of the hamstring stretch long before you absolutely need to flex your knees. Okay. So, where are we at? We're folded forward. Our knees may or may not be bent. We're low to the ground. We're breathing. We're trying to drape our body over legs. We're gonna do one more. Inhale, exhale, fold. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Fold, fold, fold. Now we are in a much deeper stretch. That is what we want, and we're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27. If you're trying to smash your face into your knee, that is you working too hard. You don't have to do that. All right. This stretch, the hamstring stretch, comes from the angle of your hips in relation to your legs. And that's why we care about the belly button folding down to the leg. 20, 19. If you are putting a whole bunch of pressure on your neck, your upper back, your mid back, because you're trying to turn yourself into a little ball and stick your face into your knee, you're working way too hard and you're working all the other muscles that you probably don't need to work because you slouch enough in your daily life. You don't need to turn yourself into a ball. Okay? So if your back muscles are relaxed and you're just flopping, great. If your back muscles are rounded because you're trying to turn yourself into a ball and you're trying to compress yourself into a little circle, that's too much. Chill. Relax. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's it. Oh, that is our first hamstring stretch. It's our first hamstring stretch because we got another leg to do. All right, that's the second hamstring stretch. Technically, there are a whole bunch of things we're doing that's going to stretch the hamstrings. So I'm not going to say that there isn't more hamstring stretches, but there's nothing that's specifically only just for the hamstring after this. All right. Whew. I think the floor is dusty because all of a sudden I need to sneeze really bad. Okay, cool. I'm good. Okay. Second hamstring stretch. Hips squared, leg extended, fold on the belly button, down into the thigh. Let's go. Fold, 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 fold. Breathe. Exhale. Relax. Chill for a second. Keep on breathing. Your calves can be relaxed. Your toes, your feet, your hamstrings, if those are relaxed, can also be relaxed. Your glutes, your low back, everything is just chilling. Oh, and breathe. From here, we're ready to inhale, exhale, fold. You all ready? Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Ah, that is part two, I guess. Inhale, exhale, fold one. So we got one more inhale, exhale, fold. If your toes are tingly, give them a wiggle. If your legs are tight, give them a little wiggle. Relax as much as you can. Keep on breathing and sighing out all that air. One more time. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Now we are deep in that stretch. If you want to go deeper, go deeper. If you don't want to go deeper, you're ready to stop for today, that's also okay. All right. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26. Keep on draping your body over that leg. Flop forward. 25, 24, 23. Again, if your knee is slightly uncomfortable, give them a slight bend. Take some tension off that knee. Focus on bringing the chest, the whole upper body down towards that leg, and that will get your hamstring stretched right back into super tight craziness. 12, maybe 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is our hamstring stretch. Whew. That second, or that most recent grunt was an expression of exhaustion, not because we were sighing out air. But I don't know. Maybe you can tell the difference. Maybe you can't tell the difference. If you've been on that show long enough, you'll be able to tell what I'm sighing for versus. No, actually, that sounds the exact same. I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's move on. We just wrapped up our first stretch, is the hamstring stretch. We're going to move on into our second stretch. It is called the butterfly stretch. What I want you to do is I want you to sit down on your butt right in front of the wall. Oh, lean against that wall, relax, chill for a second. If the walls are cold, you can use it as a nice cooling towel for your back. And from here, we're gonna get into position. We're gonna bring our feet together. We're gonna bring our feet in to our groin. With our low back, our mid back, our shoulders, our head against the wall, we're ready to begin our butterfly stretch. The butterfly stretch is happening here in the groin. The way you stretch out the groin is by bringing your knees down into the ground. I want you to get stronger whenever you're doing these workouts. So I want you to use your outer thigh muscles. I want you to use your glutes. I want you to pull yourself into that stretch. All right, an active stretch. So start trying to do that. If you're like, what the heck is he talking about? I don't have any muscles that pull my legs down into the ground. You do. You probably just don't know how to use them. Or maybe they're a little bit weaker and you're not feeling them doing any work just yet. But I want you to focus on two things. If your knees have come down just a little bit because your muscles are doing something, great. If you're feeling more of a stretch here in the groin because your muscles are doing something, great. It's going to get a lot more intense, and you'll figure it out because we're going to use our hands to help us. All right. I want you to take your hands now that your back is resting against the wall, and I want you to push your legs straight down into the ground. You can start pushing right below your knee, and whee, give them a nice push. You can relax your leg muscles for a second, and then contract them again, and relax them, and contract them, and relax them, and contract them, and see if that helps you figure out which muscles you're trying to use. All right. From here, when you're pushing your legs down, you're going to feel a whole bunch of pressure in your shoulders and in the back of your head. That is completely normal because your arms are pushing your legs down, but your arms are also attached to your shoulders. That means your shoulders are getting pushed back, and that is what you're feeling in the back of your head. That is good and fine. And I think we're ready to start. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26. Don't hold your breath. Breathe. As you exhale, see if you can push your legs just a little bit further. If you stopped flexing your butt muscles, if you stopped flexing your outer thigh muscles, flex them. Pull your legs down actively and push back on your legs. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. If you've been contracting those muscles the whole time, contract a little harder and see if it goes anywhere. But if it doesn't, you can relax them. And once you've relaxed them, your knees might come up. Push your arms down a little bit harder so you can get right back to where you were. Maybe get even further using your hands, pushing you down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. That is it. All right, let your legs go. Drop your hands. If your wrists are tired, give them a little shake, shakety, shake, 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 and be like a little T-Rex. Flop your arms around. Let them relax, because when they're pushing down like this at a weird angle for 30 seconds or more, depending on how slowly I count, you get tired, and you can give them some rest. What's next? We got to move our legs. We got to make sure our legs are working. All right. So I want you to flap the wings of that butterfly. We were trying to pull our knees down before. Now we're going to change it up and try to pull our knees up. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Ah, man. If your knees are going up and down and you're flapping the wings like a little butterfly, great. If your legs are feeling really stuck and you're like, ugh, ah, yeah, and you can't get your legs up, you can take your hands, you can grab them, give them a little shake. That should help wake them up. And all you have to do is go, hey, hey, we gotta wake up. We got stuff to do. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And actually, that feels very uneven. Try to do the same amount of waking up on the other side, and that feels better. Okay, when your legs can flap, we're ready to move on into our third stretch. Oh, grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. Come back into standing. Get rid of the stuff on the floor. We don't want to slip on them. Just kick them out to the side. And we're ready to get into our third stretch, the standing pancake. This, my friends, is not the easiest stretch. It could very well be the hardest stretch of the whole entire show. So now that you know, let's do it. We're going to open up our legs nice and wide. If you are feeling pain right here in the hips, you've gone too far. Bring your legs back in just a little bit until that sensation starts going away a little bit. All right. From here, we're focusing on the belly button. We're trying to bring that belly button down right into the floor. So do that. Down, 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 down. Boom. Here we are. In this position, we're at our starting point for our for our pancake. We're starting our pancake. And from the side, it looks a little bit like this. We're opening our legs nice and wide. We're folding forward. We're bringing our belly button down. We're trying to get our bodies to horizontal. All right. In this stretch, the goal is to turn yourself into something that looks like this. Folding flat. It is really hard. You need a lot of flexibility, and this is where that hamstring flexibility kicks in once again. And we're lazy, so we're gonna try and get gravity to help as much as possible. Because why not? The way to get gravity to help as much as possible is to actually get your body to horizontal, your upper body to horizontal, and breathe, relax, and have gravity pull you down. If that's not enough tension for you, you can extend your arms past your head so that your biceps are by your ears, and do the same thing. Breathe. That should bring you down just a little bit deeper. If you're a masochist, you can feel free to hold something in your hands. Preferably start with something light to make sure you're able to do it. Hold it up above your head and you go, and keep on folding. If you get into a situation where you're folded so far forward, your face feels like it's going to smash into the ground, what you can do is stick your butt back a little bit. Instead of having that leg go straight up, your butt is going back, and now your whole upper body is kind of starting to lift off of the ground because your butt is going back, and you can keep going. All right, that's it. That's all our instructions. If you find your legs are able to go a little bit wider right now while we're folded forward and on the ground, go ahead, take that, and get deep. Next, fold that belly button down. Fold, 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 fold. Extend your arms. Do all the crazy things if you want to try it. Stick your butt back to help counterbalance. Put your hands up in the air, and let's go. 30 seconds. 30. 29. 28. Keep breathing. Try your best to inhale, exhale. 25. 24. 23. 22. 21. 20. 19. 18. 17. 16. If you want, you can make it harder. If you don't want to, you don't have to make it harder. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. Remember, the goal is to fold our body in between the legs. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. 0. All right, put your hands down. Oh, that is a pancake. If you're in a situation right now where your legs don't want to move and you're kind of frozen, that is also kind of normal. I recommend that you try to wiggle your heels in a little bit, wiggle your toes in a little bit, wiggle your heels in a little bit, wiggle your toes in a little bit, and hopefully you'll be able to come back into standing. Uh, uh, At some point, you'll be able to come back up so you're putting your hands on your knees. You look like an old man in need of a cane, and that's fine. That's exactly what we're trying to work our way towards. Hopefully, after all that heel and toe wiggling, your legs are starting to work a little bit better. But if they're not, just slowly try to sit into a little bit of a squat. Bend at the knees, and then try to come out of it, pushing off that knee. Oh, that is our standing pancake. That is our whatever grunting, hoing coming out of the standing pancake. If your legs are feeling like jello, they're feeling like they're not going to be able to do anything for the rest of the day, don't worry. We'll make them do other stuff. It's fine. Do a little shake, work those hips, do a little dance, and keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Slowly, your hips, your legs will wake up and everything will be a little tiny bit better. And we can talk about why that sucked. The hamstrings are stretched whenever your hips fold. All right? Your hamstrings sort of attach here behind the knee, below the knee, and they attach into the bottom of your pelvis. Your pelvis, if you've seen a skeleton, something like this, right? Like there's the big whatever is going on. Your hamstrings attach to the bottom of your pelvis. So from the side, it's going to be like something like right here, mid thigh ish looking thing. When you fold, your pelvis is going way up high into the air, right? Or the bottom of your pelvis is going way up high into the air. And the further forward you fold, the higher the bottom of your pelvis is going up. That that is your hamstring stretch. So it doesn't matter if your legs are together and you're just trying to touch your toesies, or if your legs are apart and you're trying to do a side split or a pancake. Your hamstrings are getting stretched and they're going to be unhappy. That's what you're feeling right now. The other place you're feeling an intense stretch is probably your inner thighs. The adductors, spelled ADDUCTOR, their job is to bring your leg into the center of your body. What we did was not that. We did the opposite. So by bringing our legs apart, we're giving them a nice stretch. But that wasn't the only thing we did to them. We forced them to hang out in this position, forced them to hold up our whole entire body weight for a really long time because I'm bad at counting. And now they've been contracting and they have been stretching all at the same time, and that stuff hurts. But there's a pro to that. That pro is the time you're spending in that deep position, in that stretched out position, actually helps you get stronger. And we need that strength in order to teach our brain that we have control, we have mastery over that position. So it can give us a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more range to get deeper. All right? Because at the end of the day, your brain controls everything, whether consciously or unconsciously, and you got to trick it into making it believe that you can do some side splits. All right. Now that hopefully your legs are no longer as miserable, we're going to move on into a much more chill stretch. We're going to move on into our fourth stretch. It is, I think we did the pigeon last night, so I guess it's the figure four. Every day, I explain one of the two stretches that we do for this section of the show. They both look a little bit like this. We're going to bring one ankle up to the knee. Makes it look like the number four, right? And we're going to grab that ankle. We're going to bring it up to our belly button. We're going to bring our belly button down to that ankle. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. We're going to feel a whole bunch of stretch right here in the side of the hip. You might feel it in your hamstrings. You might feel it in the outside of that leg. You might feel it while you're folding forward into that hip. And luckily for you, figure four is the version where we get to lay down on our backs. So come on down to the ground and lay down. Oh man, that's nice. Okay, don't get distracted. Keep your eyes open. At least for now. You gotta figure out how you're doing the stretch. All right, we're crossing the leg over to the other side. From here, we're going to take our hands, we're going to reach in through the triangle we just made and around the outside of the knee that's not crossed. And we're going to grab that knee and we're going to pull the leg in. All right. And that is our starting position, but that is not remotely close to where we want to be. All right. I want you to inhale, exhale, and on the exhale, pull the leg in towards your body. All right. That's two. Keep on pulling. Feel that stretch building in the glute, in your hamstrings. If your knees are feeling a little bit achy, you can cup the knee and pull on it a little bit directly. That will help take some of the pressure off the knee. And keep on going. Pull that leg in. This stretch is all about how hard you're ready to work your own arms by pulling your legs in. So don't sleep. Your eyes can be closed, but don't sleep. 30 seconds, let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Keep on pulling that leg in towards your chest. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is done. Let your arms drop to either side. You can uncross your legs. You can let those also fall to the ground. And while you're here, you might as well let your knees fall to the side. Breathe, chill, and keep on trying to relax that low back, that mid back. Whew, that is one figure four. We got one last figure four, and then we're going to jump into some side splits. Keep on breathing, keep on chilling, and keep on rotating back so that we can get to the next side. Let's go. What leg did we just do? We did this leg. Other leg time. Bring the leg over, cross, make that nice triangle. Stick your hand through the triangle around the outside of the other leg. And let's get ready to do some figure four. Pull that knee in. Breathe. On the exhale, pull a little bit harder. Pull a little harder. Pull a little harder. Ooh, feel that stretch building as you bring your leg in closer to your chest. And let's begin. 30, 29, 28. If your knees are feeling a little achy, palm them, give them a little bit of love. 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep pulling that leg in. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's it. Drop your legs. Drop your arms. Relax for a second. Let the legs fall to either side. Sigh out a bunch of extra air whenever you can. And we're done with stretch number 4. It's time for some side splits. If you didn't know, because you just happen to be joining in while I'm flopped over on the ground like this, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility. We do this every day at 9 p.m. to practice consistency, to build a little community, to make the suffering that we do on the floor a little bit more fun, a little less awful, and hopefully those things all combined help us stay consistent and make a little progress in our hip mobility and moving better on the ground. I know that was not a very convincing statement because I just grunted, groaned, and flopped around like a drunk penguin. But I promise, eventually this works out. From here, we're getting into our side splits. If you've never done a side split before, don't worry. We're going to break it down into lots of little small pieces, and we're going to make sure you get into the deepest version that you can get into, nice and safe. All right? The first thing we're going to talk about, thankfully for that unintentional segue, is safety. I want you to stand right in front of the wall for this. Okay? If you stand about 8 inches to 12 inches in front of the wall, which for most people is about 1.5 footsteps, we will be ready to begin. The reason why we're standing in front of the wall is because in the side splits, we're going to open up our legs wide. We're going to have our hands on the ground for balance. We're going to be shifting our weight around. We're going to be trying to get deeper into the stretch. And occasionally, you're going to get into a situation where your hands start coming off the ground, trying to scoop back, you're trying to fold deeper like a pancake, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, you're swimming through the air, and then you go, oh, you fall backwards. Luckily, because we have the wall behind us, you'll fall like not very far. Your butt will rest on the wall. Everything will be fine. You do a little hip thrust, whoof, and then you're back into your side split. All right. If you did not have such a wall, if you did not have some support behind you, and you started doing the same thing, you're like, oh, I'm working on my side split stretch. I'm doing side to side. I'm wiggling. I'm trying to get deeper. And then you, oh no, oh no, shifted your balance too far back and you're swimming. You go, oh, oh, your best case scenario is you fall on your butt and then you get really sad for a second. Your worst case scenario is you fall on your back, fall on your butt, and then you keep falling. And then you collapse into the corner, maybe even hit your head. That is what we don't want. So don't do that and set up standing 8 to 12 inches in front of a wall so you got a little bit of support when you fall backwards. All right? With that, our safety spiel is over. Let's get into our side splits. What we're going to do is we're going to stand up nice and straight, and I'm going to slowly open up our legs. All right, this is the exact same setup for the pancake. If you're feeling your hips get a little painful, get a little pinchy, and they're just generally not feeling good, bring your legs in just a little bit. All right, from here, We're ready to fold. Focus on your belly button and bring down into the ground. Whee! Boom. This is our starting position, the same starting position as our pancake. What I want you to do from here is see if you can get a little bit wider. All right. When you're folded forward, you should be able to access a little bit more range of motion in the hips compared to when you're standing up straight. And I want you to take it. If you can get deeper, great. From here, I want you to put your hands down on the ground for stability, for support. If you cannot get your hands down, or you just don't want to because it's really tiring, you gotta fold and your neck hurts because you gotta look at the phone, or whatever reason you don't want to go all the way down, feel free to use a little bit of hand support. I got a stool, but you don't need a stool. You can use a yoga block. You can use a chair. You can use a coffee table, something to give yourself something to lean into and a little bit of support. All right? Take some weight off your legs, put some weight into your arms. That's what's important. From here, we're going to do the most important part of the whole entire thing. So make sure you do this part. All right? Right now, our feet are flat on the ground, right? Our toes are kind of pointing forward. Our knees are kind of pointing forward. That is not our end position. What I want you to do is rotate this leg back 90 degrees. What I want is this knee, instead of pointing forward, to be pointing up into the sky, into the ceiling. So that looks a little bit like this. Hold on to something for support if you need it. And wha-bam! Heels down, toes up, knees pointing up. But we can't just do one side. We gotta do the other side too. Other side, straighten that leg. Ready? Wha-bam! Heels down, toes up, knees pointing up. When you are in this position, we are ready for the side split. We've rotated the thigh bone so it doesn't smash into your hip bone. And now the bones aren't going to hold us back. The only thing holding us back are our muscles. You're in a side split. Congratulations. Now, if you want to go deeper, feel free to join in. If you're ready to stop because this is too intense for you, feel free to just hang out. All right? Let's continue. We're going to do a little wiggle from side to side. I want you to lean and push that leg out, lean and push that leg out, and lean and push that leg out, and lean and push that leg out. And use your prop, use your hands for support as you lean and lean and lean and sit and breathe and try your best to chill. All right. At the end of the day, it is the contractions in your muscles that are going to keep you tight and keep you from falling into a deeper split. So, the more you can relax those muscles, relaxing the toes, relaxing the feet, relaxing the calves, relaxing the glutes, relaxing the hamstrings if they'll relax at this point because they've been through so much today. Your low back, relaxing as much as you can will help drop you into a deeper split. All right? Take a deep breath. Relax. Let out that air in the lungs and get to however low you can get. Right now, my butt is resting on the wall. This is an unintended consequence benefit of being really close to the wall. If you can also rest your butt on the wall, it's going to take a little bit of a burden off of your hips, off of your hands, and give you a little bit of support. Go ahead and try to get into that position. The only thing I want you to note is that your toes and your knees should still point upwards. They can be relaxed, but they should still point upwards if you're doing that. All right? We're holding this for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30. 29, 28, breathe, relax, don't hold your breath, 27, 26, 25, 24. If you're feeling a little bit of pinchiness in the hips and you're like, this doesn't feel quite right, it feels uncomfortable, you can try to rotate your legs back just a little bit more and see if that helps. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, keep breathing, keep chilling, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, relax the toes, relax the feet, relax the calves, relax the hamstrings if they'll relax, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's it. Oh, walk your hands forward. Drag yourself out of that stretch. Bring your legs in underneath you and breathe. Come into a kneeling position. Come into a whatever you want position. Just chill, relax, hang out. Sigh, grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. I need to crawl over to the phone because TikTok is giving me a notification that I need to solve a puzzle and prove I'm not a robot. Oh, I had 2 minutes left on that. What if? Oh, wow, my hair is a hot mess. I'm glad I did not come closer to the camera so I didn't have to see what it looked like. That, my friends, is called waking up early for the show and preparing. All right. I didn't do that. Oh, okay, let's go back. Oh, that was our first side split. When you can, come back into standing and try to wiggle, shake, move a little bit. Try to revive your hips, revive your legs. What we just did was put a whole bunch of tension into our legs, and they probably feel like they're not working very well. And that's okay. What we're going to do next in between splits, I don't know if I told you this, but we're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds of side splits. In between, we're going to floppy, floppy, shake, 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 wiggle, recover some function, and then get back into more splits. All right. What we're going to do now is that recovery. So stand up straight, and I want you to flick your ankle around. All right. I want the ankle to be so loose, so relaxed that you look like you don't even have an ankle. You just have like a ribbon on the end of your foot. And if you're not quite there yet, that's fine. No, this is aspirational. Okay. Flop, 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 flop. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And just let the ankle go wherever it pleases. Rotate, flick, go forward, go backwards, go side to side. And what we're trying to do is relax a whole bunch of muscles in the leg. When your ankle is flopping all over the place, going crazy, all the muscles that control the ankle, like flexing the foot, pointing the toe, doing whatever side to side, doing circles, all those muscles have to be relatively relaxed in order to let your ankle go hula, 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 and whip around doing whatever it's doing. So keep doing that. We're gonna switch to the other leg. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Right now, what we're trying to train is our nervous system to relax. And the way we're doing it is having our ankles flop around and learning how to get those specifically to relax on demand. And once you have shaken out to the other ankle, flop it back and forth, side to side, flop it all over the place. Blah, 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 blah. Hopefully, you'll notice that your legs are looking like they're turning into wiggly, whippy, soggy noodle looking shenanigans. That that is a sign of relaxation. That is what we want. All right, we're going to continue. We're going to take it up to the hips. Put all your weight into one leg and put the big toe of your other foot down into the ground at a slight angle. Give that knee a bend, and we're going to do some rotation here at the hips. Notice the rest of the body is not moving at all. The only thing that's moving is the thigh bone where it connects to your hip socket into your pelvis. All right. And we're just working those muscles in and out and 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 in and out. As you get more comfortable, you can go pick up the pace, go a little bit faster. As you get more comfortable, it's not that important for your knees to be bent. The knees bent are basically just to point and make it really obvious where your legs are pointing. But as you get more comfortable, you can straighten out the leg a little bit. Not as big a deal. And when you straighten out your legs, you might find it's a little bit easier to shake faster, go a little harder, and that is what we want. We want to shake so hard our quad muscles start going flopping all over the place, and they're just going. That's that is the relaxation we're hunting for. Usually, I build up to that part of the shakiness slowly, but today I jumped right into it, flopping all over the place. If you're not quite ready for that, there's lots of other things you can be doing. All right. First, like I said, we're building up the strength and the control to get that fine tuned precision of the knee going in and out. And then as you get more comfortable, you can shake it and have it chill out and be relaxed. But there's some other stuff you can do. If, if you like to dance, you can make this fun with some stanky leg and you can do both sides. You can combine both of the knees coming in and out with some more dance moves and make it fun. Our show is all about practicing consistency. And if you make it fun, if it's enjoyable, it's going to be a lot easier to stay consistent, right? So you don't have to be so serious. You can have fun with it, all right? That was hip rotation on one side. We're going to do a couple bits more on the other side. Rotate that knee in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. As you get more comfortable, you don't have to bend the knee. You don't have to squat. You can stand up straighter. You can be super lazy. And you'll be like, oh, I gotta shake out my leg. And then as you get really good at that, You can start shaking super aggressively, having your thigh muscles go all over the place, and now your thigh muscles probably are just like a little bit itchy. They're like, "What the heck was that? That was crazy. That was so violent." All right, boom, we're done. That was shaky, shaky, relaxy, relaxy. I don't really have a good name for this, but we should be loose and ready to get into side split number two. You'd think that after doing this show like 500 times, I would have a better name for shaky, shaky, relaxy, relaxy, but it's growing on me as I'm saying it aloud and I'm laughing at my ridiculousness. Shaky, shaky, relaxy, relaxy is a good name. I'm gonna stick with it, I think, and that'll save me some brain power from coming up with a new name. All right, stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall so that if you fall backwards, boom, your butt is just resting on the wall. You can't fall anywhere. From here, open up those legs nice and wide. Make sure you're not feeling any pain in the hips. If you are feeling it, bring your legs in together just a little bit, and we're ready to fold. Right here, belly button. It's coming down. Whee! And once you are folded forward, put your hands down on the ground for a little bit of support. If you don't want to, you feel like it's too far forward and you just want something a little different, you can use a stool. You can use a chair. You can use a coffee table. Heck, you could use a bed frame if you wanted to, just like the foot of the bed. That is all good and fine. All right? From here, we're going to do the most important part. So, all the jokes and chilling and fun stuff aside, we got to do this part, all right? Because this is important for our bones. Our bones will enjoy this favor that you are doing them, all right? Right now, our knees are pointing forward. What we want is for our knees to not be pointing forward. We want them to be pointing up. So, we're going to rotate the whole leg back 90 degrees. And it looks a little bit like this. Boom! Heels down, toes up, knees up. All right, other side. Boom! Heels down, toes up, knees up. I forget to mention this because I have done this so many times, my feet are immune. But when you come into this position for the first time, first couple of times, there's a lot of pressure on your heels. If you need to, go grab some flip flops, go grab a little bit of foam to put under your feet to help support your heels so it hurts less. All right. The other trick is if you get really deep into that side split, it changes the angle of like where your pressure is feeling on your heels, and that might make the pain go away too. So you get to decide. You either get really deep in that split really fast, or you go grab some cushions, or you ignore it and just power through. I guess that's three options. All right, from here, we're doing a little wiggle from side to side. We are already in our side splits. If you want to stop, you can stop at any time. Okay. If you're ready to continue, let's go. From here, we're doing that wiggle from side to side. Every time you lean, try to push that leg out just a little bit more. Lean, push, lean, push, lean, push. And if you are resting your butt against the wall already, great, awesome, fantastic. But we're going to actually completely change what we did compared to the previous one. What I want you to do is walk your hands forward. All right. When you walk your hands forward and you bring your butt off the wall and your chest is closer to parallel to the floor because you're in more of like a push up position, at least with your upper body, your inner thighs should be feeling more of a stretch. Okay? And that's what we want. Your side splits require an insane amount of flexibility right here in the inner thigh muscles, the adductors. And we're going to chill here for the 30 seconds this time. Okay? Do a little wiggle. One more wiggle. Oh, 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. In the previous version of this stretch that we just did, we sat up a little bit straighter, had our butt resting on the wall, and that was still a side split, but it focused more on the hamstrings. That is something we also need. It's unavoidable that we need both. So we're doing a little bit of everything. All right? 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, we're done. Walk your hands forward, pull your legs in, and grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to come out of that stretch. Whew, that is our second side split. we're gonna do some shaky, shaky, relaxy, relaxy, and then we're gonna get into our third side split. All right, so let's get ready. Ugh. One, you can grunt and groan as much as you need to. Come back into standing. Oh, and let's begin. All your weight on one leg. Shake out that ankle. Flop it around. Get lazy. Flop, 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 flop. You don't have to like lift your leg and bring it out super far forward or anything like that. You can just have it drape off to the side. Stay lazy. Flop it around. Relax. Chill. If you have not been adding your arms in this whole time, feel free to add a little shake in your hands. Shake in your arms. Your hands were working real hard supporting your body weight. They deserve a little bit of rest too. All right? Switching to the other side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. If you're just joining in, you're like, what is going on? How can this possibly be useful for anything? The purpose of this is to relax your muscles. And when your ankles are flopping all over the place, doing whatever they want, the muscles directly above them that control the ankle has to be relatively relaxed. And we're going to take that relaxation, we're going to slowly go all the way up the leg so that we can get back into some side splits without you cramping up. Okay, let's go. Next, standing all our weight on one leg, big toe is down. We're going to rotate our knees in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. If you don't have that much control and it's not fine tuned yet, you can focus on just bringing the knees in and out and in and out. If you're getting a little bit stronger, getting a little bit more control, you're feeling a little bit faster, you can straighten out the leg a little bit more. You can start shaking a little bit more aggressively. When you're ready, you can take it up to the next level. You can start shaking really aggressively. Your thighs will go flying all over the place, and that's it. More relaxing. Let's go. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. We talk about this movement a lot because a lot of people are coming in new for the first time. You got to figure out which muscles were being used. But the only thing that really matters at the end of the day is relaxation. So if you can get into a more relaxed state faster, great. Go for it. Jump into that as your skill allows. All right. Whew, hopefully, our legs are a little bit more relaxed. If you're not totally relaxed yet, you can add in some stanky leg. You can do both sides. You can do this thing, which name I always forget and never remember because I did not grow up in that era. But put those moves in, enjoy, and I think we're about ready for our third and final side split. Let's go. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall so that the wall can catch you if you fall backwards and you'll stay super safe. From here, we are going to open up our legs as wide as you can without the pinching uncomfortableness here in the hips. If it's pinching, if it's uncomfortable, bring your legs back together and we're ready to fold. Bring that belly button right here down into the ground. Put your hands down if you need it. If you just don't want to, you can also put your hands on something else. All right, we're leaning into that, giving ourselves a little bit of support to get ready for rotations. What I want you to do is rotate your whole entire thigh back 90 degrees. Right now, the knee is kind of pointing forwards, right? What we want is the knee pointing up. Bam! Knees pointing up, toes pointing up, heels down on the ground. This is the position I want you to get your leg into. Other side. Straighten the leg. Knee is pointing forward. We're rotating the leg. Boom! Knee is pointing up. Toes are up and heels are down. Keep that hip position. Put your weight into your hand support or the floor if you're not using something to support your hands. And do a little wiggle from side to side. Wiggle to the left, wiggle to the right, wiggle to the left, wiggle to the right. Hopefully you'll find, especially because we did some shaky, shaky, relaxy, relaxy stuff, you're drifting a little bit faster into that side split. Wiggle, wiggle, shake, shake. Whew. Ah, here we are. We're in our side splits. It's time. Last 30 seconds. Is there anything else I want to talk about? I think that's it. Let's go. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. I mentioned this earlier. When you're in this position, relax your calves, relax your toes, relax your hamstrings, relax your glutes. Breathe, sigh out that extra tension. Go out of your way to do that ridiculous sigh that I do. And see if you actually do drape and fall into a deeper stretch. It's magic. It happens. It actually does work. So, and feel that stretch. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. That's it. I sat back too deep into the stretch. My legs are stuck. But if you're not stuck, walk your hands forward, pull yourself out of the side split, and give me a second to catch up. Oh, oh. Okay, pull, 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 pull. Pull your legs in underneath you and breathe. That was a third side split. That might have been the fastest one because instead of explaining a whole bunch of stuff and talking about stuff that you probably didn't even need to know, we just got into the 30 seconds. We're ready. We're ready to wrap up. Let's go. We're gonna come back into standing. We're gonna shake, 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 shake out some more, get loose so that you can get back to whatever else you got to get back to today. We're gonna follow up with a couple of quick joint checks. We're gonna check that our hips, our legs, our knees, our ankles are working well together, and then we'll wrap. All right. Come on back into standing. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to, and let's do this. Shake, 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 shake out that ankle. If you are feeling like a true pro at this point, you can start adding in other things. You don't have to focus on just the ankle. I instruct with the ankle because it is easy to focus on and identify and see that your ankle is just flopping all over the place when it's loose, right? But if you want to start combining everything all into one crazy loose super wiggle thing, you can do that. All we care about is relaxation in the legs. And if you can sort of combine both the movements that we've been practicing, this knee in and out, this hip thing, with the ankle flop in some way, and you just go, I'm a noodle. Do it. Enjoy. Everybody else, flop that ankle. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. Do a little dance. And when your legs are feeling a little bit more relaxed, we're ready to move on to the hips. Let's go. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. If you're brand new to the show and you're like, wait, 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 hold on, what is this? All your weight is down one leg. Big toe is down just for support. It's not holding any weight. And we're focusing on rotating this thigh bone in and out of that hip socket. Well, it's not coming out of the hip socket, but it's coming in and out. Internal, external rotation in that hip socket. Anyways, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Turn to dance move. Stanky leg, stanky leg, stanky leg. Other side. In, out, 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 in, out. Stanky leg, stanky leg. I don't know why I like stanky leg so much. In, do both sides at the same time. With your hands, match it up so the dance actually makes sense. I don't actually know it. I've just seen it a couple of times and I'm mimicking. And we're ready to move on. That was our hip relaxation stuff. Relaxy, what did I call it? Shaky, shaky, relaxy, relaxy. That's that. We're gonna move into our joint checks. In the joint checks, we're just trying to make sure everything is moving well. And the thing we're gonna do first is called the hip circle. We're gonna just slowly push that hip into its full range of motion and see what we can feel. If something feels tight, something feels like it needs a little bit of love, feel free to hang out there for a second, give it a little bit of attention, and then continue. After the side splits, I usually have a whole bunch of tension on the left and right side of the hip, and that's what I'm giving a little bit of time to. Whew. Sometimes it turns into a little bit of an oblique stretch, a side stretch, and that's nice too. Whew. You might feel some pressure in the front of your hips. We didn't really do anything for the front of the hips, but you might feel it nonetheless. You might also feel a whole bunch of achiness in your low back because we all have low back pain these days. That is normal. Next up, we're going to lift our knees as high as we can. We're just going to do one rep. If your knees come up, you're good. We can move on. Next, we're gonna pop into a little bit of a squat. I want you to bring your feet fairly neutral directly underneath you, and I want you to fold. Bring your chest down towards your knees. Whee! From the side, it's gonna look a little bit like this. All right. What I want you to do next is I want you to push your knees forward in the direction of your toes. From here, you're going to feel a whole bunch of pressure in the Achilles tendon, in the calves. You can poke them to double check that they're feeling a lot of pressure. And your toes should be gripping the floor nice and hard. That should help to get your arch activated and working because your toes are working so hard. And now a lot of your leg muscles are working really, 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 really well together. From here, you can put your hands down if you need the support, or you cannot if you don't want to. And we're going to do some calf raises. Try to get your weight sort of in between your big toe and your index toe as you come up, and that will help you keep your ankles a little bit straighter. And when your legs are super tired, your calves have no more interest in wanting to do any of these, we're ready to come back up into standing. All right. What we just did was force our toes to work really well with our feet, with our Achilles tendon, with our calves, with our ankles, with our knees, with our hips, with our quads, with our low back. And that was how we do our super fast joint check, just to make sure everything is working well together. And that's it. That's the live. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on hip mobility. I feel like I should be demonstrating this and not just chilling on a stool when I say this. But I hope you enjoyed the live. Oh, and I hope you're feeling a little bit more relaxed now that we've had a couple seconds to chill out from it. And oh, I hope you're feeling like you crushed your morning because you already got your workout in. All right. What else? What do you need to know? We do this live every single day at 9 p.m. to practice consistency, to build a little community, to make the suffering that we do a little bit more fun, a little less just suffering for the sake of suffering. So if you like that, if you like the show, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe. I don't even know what I'm pointing to. I just point to things. And make sure to keep coming back because we're live every day at 9 p.m. It is currently not 9 p.m. That is because on the weekends we do two shows at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. If you're not in the Eastern time zone and you're like, when is 9 a.m. or when is 9 p.m.? This show started an hour and 22 minutes ago. All right. And whatever that time is, you can come back for it. Jax says good morning and see you later. See you later, Jax. Welcome back, Che. And goodbye, Che. And yeah, that's everything, I think. Is there anything else I need to talk about? I have a YouTube video. If you're interested in learning some calisthenics moves, you're like, stretching is not my only thing. I really, want to get stronger or like do cool things. I want to show off instead. That is also a great reason to do side splits. But I make some other content. And the most recent YouTube video is the tutorial for an elbow lever. If you don't know what an elbow lever looks like, it looks like this. You do a nice intense plank, you drop that plank onto your elbows, and you kind of just float around. Ah, no, my earbud. Ah, and then from there you can do cool stuff if you want. But that is the elbow lever. And I got a quick tutorial. I think it's like 4 or 5 minutes over on YouTube. And you should definitely go check that out if that's a skill that you want to learn. And if you got questions about that skill later, you can bring it back into the live later tonight, tomorrow, day after, whenever, and we can talk about it and break it down from there. All right. So that's our life. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to start scrolling through the chat because I am trying to get through the live as fast as possible so that new people can come in and feel like they know what's going on, but also so that our older regulars can get it done and move on with their lives, right? Because of that, I was like, why am I saying that? Because of that, I don't spend a lot of time looking at the chat throughout the live. And that is why I come in at the end and I spend another like half hour on the chat. Kana Bug says, I love your live so much. Have an amazing day. Amazing. Thank you. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. I don't know when I'm going to look at the screenshot, but I'm going to keep it. And my wild hair to remember that I did not wake up early enough to take care of myself before this live started. Let's go. I'm gonna keep scrolling. Plantastic, cool username, says I really needed that. My qigong teacher is not on this morning for some reason. Oh, substituting for a qigong teacher. Feeling like I just leveled up my show. Let's see where we're going. Rona says I didn't make it. I hope you're okay. But I hope you just didn't make it to the live and you're sad about that. Me too. Me too. All right, let's see what else we got. Scrolling up, looking to see if any questions came in. Y2K says, can groove? Hold on now. Maybe, maybe a little bit. Maybe, maybe. TL Sherry says, mine don't do that. Oh man, I wish I knew what you were talking about. Mine don't do that. If you are still on, let me know. Let me know what yours don't do. What is it that you're not able to do? And maybe there's a cue, maybe there's a little tip I can give that will help your body do that. But if oh, okay, I'm seeing this Y2K says, I'm so flexible, but my body will not relax into a split. Um, a lot of the time, that's just spending time in that position. Um, you can only be tense for so long, right? Like that tension that you're feeling, uh, especially when it's holding up something really heavy, like the rest of your whole entire body, is only going to last so long. It's going to collapse onto itself after a while because you just can't keep contracting forever. Um, Although now that I'm saying that, I'm starting to think about like people with like neck issues where it's like super tense and it's tight, and you're like, ugh, my neck doesn't want to turn, and then you get like the crazy massage things that we see on Instagram or like the chiropractors that just make crazy noises. I wonder how that works. But most of the time in the stretching world, when we talk about stretching, there is a technique that is sort of putting you in a really intense, hard position and then waiting out the tension. Usually, the nervous system, your brain just starts chilling out and is like, okay, 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 this is fine. We don't have to work so hard, and that should allow you to get a little bit deeper into the split. It's just spending time in that position. You wrote in that first part of the sentence, "I'm so flexible." So I don't know if you're actively training for flexibility or if you've just had a ton of flexibility for forever. But for the people who have to train really hard to get a little bit of flexibility, relaxing into a split is a totally viable method of just waiting out until the muscle, the nervous system just gives up and surrenders to whatever it is that you're trying to do. It takes a long time. It's not the most comfortable. It's not horribly uncomfortable. And that might be the thing you need. Maybe you just need to spend a little bit more time in that awkward position, but at a higher elevation, right? Um, we don't do very much of this on this show, but if you have something to support yourself, like some yoga blocks, you can create a little stool, create a little chair for you in your side split. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna get into this. Oh, it's already been too long that I've been sitting over there. But if you got something to rest your butt on, to rest some of your weight on, it's gonna take a lot of the tension out of that stretch, right? Like if you didn't have this and you're trying to hold this position, it would feel awful, right? But because we have a little bit of something to rest our cheekbones on, our butt bones on, you can hang out here a little bit more easily. Waiting out the tension here is going to be a lot easier than if you were just holding it like this. Ah, put it back, put it back. And those blocks don't have to hang out right underneath your butt. You can adjust them, you can tweak them along the chain of your legs and play around with how you sit into that stretch. Oh, all right. Oh, man. Why do I do this to myself? All right, let's continue. Scrolling. I'm doing these in bear slippers, mind you. Lovely. Um, I hope that's not. That's awesome. Okay. Catherine says, "Hi Ken. Wow, I just joined. I haven't seen you in months. Your split is looking great. Awesome. Thank you. And my hair is looking really nice. Thank you. Oh man. Most of the time I'm focused on the text on the bottom of the chat and not on my hair, so I haven't noticed it that many times. But there we go. That doesn't look any more ridiculous than before. Thank you, Catherine, for coming back. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, we've been working. I've been working on this size splits thing for a long time, and I've been working a little bit every single day. And I'm glad you can see that there's progress. Because sometimes I forget what the progress looks like because I am way too lazy to go back and check the recordings. I just do the show every day, and I just believe that we're getting deep. Because I know I started much higher up, but on a daily basis, I have no idea if I'm making any progress. Eventually, I'm like, oh, this is a lot deeper. Yeah, this is awesome. It's working, and that's how that goes. Rona sends a whole bunch of hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I like that you're doing these in bare slippers, Kana. That is the right way to do it. You should be as comfortable as you can. St. Q says, my floor is too slippery. If your floor is too slippery, there's a couple of things you can do. One of them is put on shoes that have a little bit more grip, and that will take you pretty far by themselves because at some point you'll eventually get into a situation where your shoes, the rubber of your soles, are not going to be in contact with the floor anymore, right? Like for pretty deep you can keep your feet down, but the back of your shoes are going to like hit the heel of your foot, and it's going to irritate your foot, and it's going to put a lot of pressure like on your Achilles tendon, and when it gets uncomfortable you're not going to want to do it anymore. So it will help for the first little bit. Alternatively, there's a couple of things you can do. One, you can find something that's a little grippier. If your feet are not grippy enough because you got really dry feet or something, you might be able to, splash a little water on your feet, sweat or something, give yourself a little bit of grip. But if that doesn't work, I recommend you go drop something that you're standing on in a corner, right? So that it doesn't slide out to the right, doesn't slide out to the back. It gets really controlled because the block or whatever this foam floor thing, is in the corner. That way, you don't have to focus on sliding out in both directions. You can focus mostly on sliding out in one direction, and that becomes a lot easier to control. Okay? Whew, all right, back to the floor. What else we got? My floor is too slippery. But is there anything else for floor is slippery? Floor is slippery. Floor is slippery. You might just have to try something else. Maybe go steal a carpet from another room, and that'll just change up how that friction feels. Maybe that'll help. Maybe it won't. But it'll be different. And if your floor is too slippery, you need something different, right? So what else we got? Crystal View sends some smiling emojis. Thank you, thank you. And we got jokes coming in. Who's responding to Y2K? People are suffering. Yep. Connor says, if I wasn't already flexible, I had broken something doing these great stretches. Crying face. I promise. I promise. We've been doing the same exact stretches for like 450 plus days. I think I'm close to my 500th live day. I do the double show on the weekends, so I'm probably already past 500, but this is 500 days, almost 500 days deep into doing this every single day. So when I talk about this show being about building up consistency, is legit. I'm here almost every single day, unless I'm traveling on a plane or something. I'm here. I've done this live from parks in Thailand. I've done this in train stations in Japan, at an airport for in between connecting flights in India. And I promise I usually try to find like a sketchy corner to be doing weird stuff in, and not just in the middle of the park, uh, or the middle of the train station. Usually I go find like a really awkward out of the way corner and set up a little dinky phone tripod and go, hey guys, we're doing this live. And inevitably, pretty much every single one of those times, we have internet issues of some sort, and it doesn't go that well. But makes me really good, makes me really resilient at not caring what other people think. That is hard. It's so scary. I make eye contact with so many people, and I haven't looked at any of those recordings, but I'm sure you'll just see my head turning, making eye contact, looking back, and doing that the whole entire time. Anyways, where am I going with this? We do this live every single day because I believe that consistency is going to make a way bigger difference than most people's very short attempt at following a more intense plan. And I say this from personal experience. I've wanted to do the size blitz for like 15 plus years. We got a compliment about my dancing skills earlier, and I took those first dance classes probably 15, 16 years ago. And that is where I saw and met my first couple of people who can drop into splits and then like rotate a hip and rotate some other stuff. And then all of a sudden they go from a middle split to like a front split, something in between, do some pancakey stuff. And I was like, holy cow, this is crazy. I want to be able to do that. And lo and behold, it's been 15 years. I still can't do that. But I have tried. I have started and I've quit so many times, probably 2 or 3 times a year over 15 years. So like 40 plus times. And maybe sometimes I would make a little bit of progress, but then I would quit and then all that progress would disappear. So, what I'm doing differently this year, this time, I guess, because it's been more than a year, is I have started doing a show, this show. It's much less intense. It's very recoverable because I've been doing this basically every day for 500 days. And uh, we prioritize consistency over intensity, showing up, putting in the effort, doing a little bit, and using that as the methodology for making progress. Because I've made way more progress in the last year and change doing this live than I have starting and quitting everything else that I've started. So that's the philosophy. If you can get super consistent, if you have no problem going all in, full send, committing, and you don't need something to help you stay consistent, then this isn't the show for you, right? You're a powerhouse. You can go crush like everything. This is awesome. But if you're a mere mortal like the rest of us and need a little bit help with consistency, showing up, having a cool, fun environment to hang out in, this hopefully was the place for you to do that in. So if you like hip mobility, you need to work on your side splits, keep coming back. We're live every day at 9 p.m. On the weekends, also at 9 a.m. And we do this a lot, a lot to practice consistency. And if I'm the proof, I've done this show every day, so it should be relatively recoverable. All right. Diane asks, where are you located? I live on the East Coast. I'm in the U.S. Um, Mixter Bug asks, when you say 9 p.m., are you suggesting it's 9 p.m. now, or are you saying you also do this at 9 p.m.? I'm saying I also do this at 9 p.m. It's currently 10:37 a.m. for me, so it's an hour and 37 minutes from when this show started, and we do this live at 9 a.m. on the weekends. I know it's really confusing. I gotta figure out how to say this in a more concise way. We have a version of this show that's 9 p.m. every single day, Monday through Sunday. And then we got a version of this show that is at 9 a.m., but it's only on the weekends. So you can start the day with some stretches. And clearly, I just started the day with some stretches. What else we got? Um, what else? What else? What else? Rona says, I didn't do the split. It's hard. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have not done the splits ever yet because I am not flexible enough to go all the way down. I'm close. I'm getting much closer than when I started. Um, but you absolutely don't have to do anything to a crazy level. The show is all about setting us up so that we can do the same stretches over and over and over and over and over again until we get to whatever level that you're ready to stop at. For me, I want to get the splits, so that's my stopping point. But if you've decided that you only need to be able to get 120 degrees with your legs apart, that's fine. That's totally reasonable. That's a very, very, very reasonable decision to make. Because why are you investing so much more time in something you don't need, right? Um, you only need a little bit more flexibility than what your life requires. If you are not trying to drop into a split all the time, you don't need split flexibility. Most of people in the world get along just fine without very much hip mobility at all. So train because it feels good, because you want to. Don't train because I feel like, or you feel like I'm pressuring you to drop into a split. All right, that's not the goal. The goal is to help us practice consistency. So if that you want to be here, you want to work on these stretches, that you can. All right. Primal Henry over on YouTube says, "Go hard or go home." Just kidding. Good luck on your journey. Thanks, Henry. I appreciate it. Okay. I think I'm mostly through the comments. I'm gonna scroll a little bit longer just to see if I missed anything, and we will get ready to wrap up. Diane asks, do you do this on a regular basis? Yes, I do this every single day. Every single day. And it feels like because more people are engaging in the comments, the shows keep on getting longer. At one point, this was like a 30-minute show because we just did the exercises and we moved on. And then it was like a super ultra small number of people. So like we only had to explain it once or twice for the first couple of days, and then we were good. We're just chilling. But then the show started growing, and a lot of new people started coming in. So I started explaining more, try to be more entertaining while we suffer on the ground. And the show started getting longer and longer and longer. At one point, it was like an hour and a half for just the basic stuff. We've trimmed that down back to about an hour. And when I'm in a super rush, I'll start skipping things because I forget because I'm stressed out, like in an airport or in a train station, and then it might drop down to like 50 minutes. Uh, but the Q&A section tends to start drifting longer and longer. We've hit 2 hours a handful of times now, and we're at 100 minutes as it is. So it is definitely an interesting sort of evolution of the live. Because yes, at one point it was like 25 minutes, and now it's not anywhere close to 25 minutes. I think there are a couple of versions of this video that I've recorded back in the early days when we were first starting. That workout without explanation, just going through all the movements, only took like 15 minutes. So the 3 warm-up exercises going at full speed and the 5 stretches that we do could potentially be done in 15 minutes. But over time, I've extended the length of the show because we spend more time setting up the stretches, right? You might have noticed that what is it? I do the 30-second countdown, but I also spend a whole bunch of seconds trying to get us into a deeper stretch first before those 30 seconds. It used to be that we just jumped in, we folded or got into whatever shape we could immediately, and we just counted 30 seconds. So our stretches have gotten a little bit longer, and that definitely adds to the duration of the show, especially that hamstring stretch. That hamstring stretch where we go inhale, exhale, fold, relax, relax, breathe, chill, chill, inhale, exhale, fold, relax, relax, chill, chill. And then we start the 30 seconds afterwards. And I talk about like if you have knee pain, you have all that other stuff. That stuff adds like a whole 5 minutes to the show by itself. So um, it's one of those things where the hamstring stretch is really important because most people have really not great hamstring flexibility and everybody wants to have better hamstring flexibility. So I want to make sure that you're really feeling the stretch and not just giving up really early in the beginning because you're like, I've never even gone this far. Um, but I gotta concise that down a little bit too. Anyways, where we go with this? Max asks, C5, C6, herniated discs, what to do? C5, C6. So you're feeling it up in the, is that the cervical spine in the neck? That I have no idea. I got no idea. I can't help you. Um, my brain is churning, but I think it's just all empty in there because I haven't had any coffee yet. But yeah, I got zero expertise, so I'm not gonna try and come up with something that I think might be helpful. I know just enough anatomy to uh, roughly know what you're talking about, but um, I don't have enough expertise to give you any useful advice. So Max, I'm sorry, and I'm going to move on. Plantastic says, but yes, it's just about consistency and taking it slow. Yes, that is our life. It is about consistency and it's about taking it slow. When you have built up that consistency and you can show up, you feel that side splits or whatever other thing that you're trying to be consistent about is important enough to you that you can make the rest of your life work around it. You don't have to focus on consistency in this way in this format. We're focusing on it every day, right? I am probably at the point where I could probably do a more intense side split workout. I could probably do it 3 times a week instead of every single day. And I'd probably get more results from it, to be honest. But now that I know that there's so many other people who are interested in working on it consistently, working on building results slowly over time, I'm here for it. I'm ready. I'm all in on this. Uh, and you can go take these skills into somewhere else, right? Like you don't have to focus on just doing it in the side splits. If you want to take the principles that I talk about, where it's like do something every day, make it just useful enough that you see a little bit of progress regularly so that you don't get completely demotivated. Do as little as possible so that you're not just wasting your time and feeling like, life is boring. Um, I feel like there's like four or five other tips in here that I can't remember off the top of my head. Track it in the easiest way possible. The way I'm tracking this is there's a video that gets uploaded to YouTube, and I just know that there's a lot of videos out there. Do I look at them? No. Do I check how many days I've done? Very, very rarely. I just know the starting date was December 1st, 2024 for the first live. That one was awful. I'm never going to watch it again. But that one was their starting date, and I couldn't have missed more than like a month's worth of lives in the last year and change. So there's got to be 450 plus videos because I do two shows on the weekends, and that started a couple months ago. So there's a lot of stuff, and my version of tracking consistency is showing up and making sure I'm at every single live, right? That's enough. I don't need an X in a spreadsheet. I don't need a calendar with marks in them because I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna be really bad and lazy about it because they're like, oh, I finished the live. I'll go fill out the X later, and then lo and behold, it's 3 months later and I haven't filled in a single X. Um, so track it, but track it in the least intrusive way possible. My version is just uploading it up to YouTube and going, okay, that's good enough. There's proof. If I need to look back at it, it exists. So let's see. I'm in the U.S., Diane. I know when I say like this show is at 9 p.m. and you're like, clearly it's not 9 p.m. There's literally sunlight coming in through your window. What are you talking about? That can get a little confusing. We have our standard show from Monday through Sunday at 9 p.m. And on the weekends, which is right now, this show starts at 9 a.m. We have already wrapped. That's why the number of viewers is dropping steadily, and I'm happy about that because I'm just rambling at this point. We are doing this live on the weekends at 9 a.m. and it goes to however long it goes when we finish the exercises and however long it takes to wrap up Q&A and interact with everybody who's interacting in the chat. Right now it is 10:47 in the morning for me. This show has been going for about an hour and 7 minutes, and you can subtract however many minutes from your current time to figure out what your time for 9 a.m. Eastern is. I've locked the dog out of this room for long enough that he is starting to bark, so I think this is a good time to wrap up the live so that I can keep him from barking and waking up everybody else in the neighborhood. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on hip mobility with me today. We have another live in not very long from now, 10 hours and 12 minutes at 9 p.m. So feel free to come back for that if you want to do some more side splitty stuff. It is a lot. I get really tired after doing, two lives a day on the weekends. And by the fifth and final one on Sunday, or fourth and final one on Sunday, my hips are in need of a rest. So you definitely don't have to come to all of them. I make them available because I want people to be able to choose when they do a little bit of exercise. All right. That's it. That's everything. Hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. I do other stuff, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. All the usernames are the same. At splits on the side. If you want to find some cool fitness content, most of it is like how to get a little tiny bit of exercise into your day where it makes sense. Like when you're waiting for ramen to heat up, when you're waiting for your coffee water to boil, all that kind of stuff. You got 2 minutes to get a crazy exercise. If you did the live with me today, 20 seconds is a long time to be in a stretch. 2 minutes is plenty of time for a little bit of exercise, and those 2 minutes spread out across the day a whole bunch of times adds up. It is not something you should sleep on. So make it a part of your life. Enjoy. Don't suffer too much. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. Debbie says, hello, Ken. Welcome back, Debbie. It's good to see you. I'm sorry my hair is a hot mess. I woke up and started the live pretty much like within 15 minutes. I didn't have much time to prepare. So, oh, hey, it came down. I put it down and this time it stayed. That's like the first time in like An hour and 40. Nah, never mind. All right. Well, whatever. I'm wrapping up. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.